Welcome to Escape Will Make Me Pod, episode 8. This week we talk about a bunch of stuff because Bungie keeps putting out shit for this game. Hell yeah. Hey everybody. Welcome back to Escape Will Make Me Pod, episode 8. We're all they're well slept. Look at these guys.
We have kids.
Yeah, oh well, yeah, true. Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, this is good. Big week. Lots happened. Too much happened. I just got back from LA. You'll see what that's about. Maybe you've already seen what that's about, depending on when I get this video up. I don't know.
Movie magic.
Movie magic. I don't. Maybe I'll upload them at the same time. I don't know. Doesn't matter. We got a lot to talk about this week. Oh, boys, sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh, my God. We're a minute in, and I didn't plug Pocket Cast yet. Sub on Pocket Cast. Leave a review on Spotify. How are you gentlemen doing? Ryan and Jake, how you guys doing?
Good.
I'm doing good. Are you good?
Living it up.
No, dude, I'm dying.
Are you
I'm
good?
dying.
People are like, why is Ryan always laughing whenever the intro starts? It's like, you guys don't see the chaos that leads into the just like us chit-chatting, and then Scaro's just like, hey everybody, welcome to episode 8 of Escape Will Make Me Pod, just in the middle of us already talking about something else, and it's always just a delight to wonder when the podcast will begin.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I just kind of rip it. I just kind of like click a random thing, and I'm like, oh, that's a good point. That's pretty funny. Okay, so last time we talked was actually not that long ago, because it's currently Tuesday. Yes?
Yes, it is Tuesday.
And we talked on Thursday.
Yes.
That's okay. Also a day, yeah.
Thank you, okay. Yeah. And so it's been 5 days. 5 very long days. And a lot's happened. Server Slam is over, but the game launches in 2 days. It doesn't launch on Tuesday. It launches in 2 days. Confusing English language thing there. Yeah, so the Server Slam was cool. People liked it.
I do think people liked it, and I do think that we were talking last time, and I was talking about this with Ryan, that like it's obviously one of those games that takes a little bit of time for it to click, I think, in a lot of ways, and I think that was something that we saw more and more. I'm kind of less concerned or caring about like player numbers, I guess, is a relevant factor, but I do think people who connected with the game definitely felt that experience, coming in and being a big part of the full scope of what's going to be available in the game. And I think we saw that, over the weekend. A lot of people were like, oh, this is starting to click. And a lot of people were talking about that.
Big people coming to the defense of Marathon. Like Burnt Peanut towards the end of the playtest, I was seeing clips like he's a huge lover of this game. Tim the Tapman seems to be really buying in. So it's good. It's good to have people. And then on the other side, you have Ninja dying to a UESC bot, yelling because he thought it was a runner that looked like a UESC bot, and then calling the game ass. But it's like, we've all been there. You know what I mean? But no, it was good. And I do think like I saw more and more positive feedback as people like
yes.
People, I don't know. People seemed like I made a tweet that was something to the effect of like, Marathon's kind of like a tabletop RPG. It takes a while to learn, but once you learn it and your friends learn it, then it's like really fun. That's how D&D works. That's how Catan works. That's how Catan, however the fuck you say it. That's how the Haunted Hill House one works that I play with my friends. It's how fucking Werewolf works. It's like how these games work. And all their, half their replies are like, oh yeah, I like Marathon and I learned stuff. And then the other half are like, if a game is hard to learn, that just means it's a bad game. It's like, these are the fucking baseball fans of the world, dude, okay? This is like, go hit the thing with the stick, have fun over there. Complex games are okay. It's okay to like more complex, and there's nothing. I hate baseball. It's fine if you like baseball.
We're coming after all of baseball.
No, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done that. I'm tired.
The baseball audience that we have.
Listen.
I'm sorry.
Shohei Ohtani would love Marathon. Okay, he's still up on the table for a guest for the podcast. So.
Okay, he plays for LA, right?
Dodgers,
does he? Or did I make that up? I don't fucking know anything about baseball. I don't fucking know. I'm a hockey guy, man. But it's like, simple games are fine. But there's nothing wrong with complex games. And there's this whole, and they're probably all Twitter bots. It's fine. But God, it pisses me off when people are like, if the game doesn't tell me, meh, meh, you know?
It's one of those things where it's especially annoying when it comes there's a surprising number of Destiny people who like after day one are just like, I just don't get it. And it's like, you got to put yourself in the shoes of what it was like to play Destiny like 12 years ago. Like people are like, Bungie could do better. It's like, I don't know if they can, dog. Like they have not made a good tutorial for their super complex games in like 12 years. I don't know why anyone is like surprised. Like the biggest problem with Destiny 2 is onboarding, and always has been. And Destiny 1 always has been.
It was really funny to see, and I had this feedback too. Like, I think a lot of the menus are a little confusing how they lead into each other. But from a Destiny perspective, it's genuinely really funny to hear a bunch of Destiny people giving that feedback.
Yes.
It's like, hey, they did better. They did better this time around. It's not great, but they did better.
It's less menu gameplay than the Portal. I'll give you that for sure. But also, like, I don't think a lot of Destiny's menus, playing for hundreds of hours, I still don't think some of these menus make sense. After 100 hours of marathon at this point, I'm like, all of this makes sense. It's just a little convoluted.
Some of them are a bit clunky, and there's like, certain like to switch a shell, you have to go to a specific menu, and to do factions, you have to go to a specific menu. It's like some of them have like 2 ways to access them, and then some don't.
It's like the Rook thing I was complaining about last week. Like,
yes, exactly.
Rook after a full is like really clunky, but also like I get why all of those things are the way they are after time, and like I can't say that about Destiny. Like thousands of hours into it, so like Bungie's they love a complicated menu, but like that's why we're still playing their games. It's like they make complex games. Complexity breeds like interest over a long period of time. Like it's always going to be. I was against my own advice, like dooming a little hard on Thursday, but like once we got to Saturday, once we got to Sunday, like the discourse really seemed to turn, and people really like, oh, I'm glad I gave this another shot. So like the people that bounced off of it were people who are always going to bounce off of it. Is like, and they got to do it for free, which is good. That's better than leaving a bunch of like really negative reviews on Steam. They now know they don't need to play the game, which is great. That's good.
It was really interesting to see, like, in the game, people start to get it. Because like the first couple of days, like algae ponds, Hauler, Overflow, just like everyone was there. And then on the final days, it was like, okay, people are starting to migrate to other parts of the map. Like algae ponds was still, it wasn't as busy, but it's still busy. But like Complex started to become a hot spot, and like Greenhouse started to become a hot spot. And is at least in this is all anecdotal, but I played a ton on every day, and you could definitely feel like the localization of the engagements change, even though my team was running the same routes every day every time we spawn. I thought that was kind of cool. And so I love seeing like the community put out tutorials and stuff, and like they start to get it, and I just think that's really cool. Yeah, man, good stuff.
They put out a bunch of stats about it. And like, if you want to know, like, speaking of the ninja situation, probably should have brought this up when we were talking about ninja getting farmed, but someone was looking at it was like the deaths to kills ratio, and it's like there are 9 million kills, and then the runner deaths are like significantly higher. It was in the video, I don't think I have it here, but to the point where people are like, oh, like at least in the first couple of days, what Bungie was saying that people were dying to UESC, and that was part of the reason why there was less PvP. It's because it turns out it was like 30 or 40% of runner deaths came from UESC.
I saw someone say
based
45.
On the stats.
I don't know where that number came from. I don't know. I haven't done the math, but it was 9.
Let me try to find the video.
9.2 million runners killed. And 16.6 total runner deaths.
Yeah. Yikes.
That's crazy.
Okay,
Jake,
I mean, this is all coming
Jake,
from
are you
people...
running up those numbers? Like, what's happening here? Does that count? It's deaths down, or is that like total death?
I think that's full deaths, because runner elims only count. Like if you down someone, I think I noticed like you don't get that as a kill. Like if someone if you
Okay.
down someone and then someone else eliminates them, that counts as their kill. So
I wonder what the
Beacons factor-
average number of downs is per player before they full die. It's got to be like 3.
That would be
Right?
interesting. Probably.
I don't think. Do you think most people were playing trios? I kind of have felt like just based off like talking to people, and I put a video up today talking about it, a lot of people. I think a lot of people were playing solos. Like it's.
Really?
I'm almost thinking that maybe most people were playing solos primarily.
I think there are a lot
during
of,
the server slam at least.
This is a good community engagement thing.
Yeah.
Let us know down in the comment section below.
Well-
Do you have friends, or were you playing solo?
I think a lot of people had to try it solo for sure, because like
Yeah.
there's also what I thought was an interesting stat, which is like 1.3% no exfil matches, which like that
Wait, say
seems
that
low.
again?
Like no 1.3% of matches had no exfils in them.
That does seem surprisingly
That's
low.
I mean, I think that's really high. Like if we're looking at the amount of kills, like surely the amount of matches is in the, you know, hundreds of thousands.
You think
So,
1.3 percent is high?
1.3% of matches having nobody leave? That's
Yeah.
wild.
That
That's
seems
like-
very low to me.
Oh
I
man,
mean,
see, I think that's
am I
like,
misunderstanding? I mean, 99% of matches had at least one person leave. 98.7.
yeah.
Yeah.
I just think like but like when you're talking 1% of like, I don't know, if you're to pull a number out your ass and say there are 500,000 matches over the course of the weekend, that's a lot of matches.
Yeah, but there's
where,
like a lot of people
everyone
that have
died.
never played marathon before.
Oh yeah,
right?
that's
so.
But that's
so-
what I mean in terms of the churn of the UESC. Like, I think there are a lot of probably solo runs where
Yeah,
people are getting absolutely churned out by these bots and
yeah.
like and no one gets out because like it makes you wonder when you hear all these people talking about how they didn't run into any PvP at all. Like how many of those beginner perimeter runs were like there's 6 players on the map total, and
Yeah.
you know, like or 9 runners on the map total, and like 2 teams kill each other, and then one team just gets full out wrecked
Yeah.
by opening a crate and calling down bots. Like it more of what I mean is like it seems high if everyone knows what they're talking about, but as soon as you add in the fact that 7 million people died to UESC at
Yeah.
least, or to environmental stuff or turrets or whatever, then suddenly that 1.3%
Yeah.
starts
I
to
don't know.
make sense.
Especially if I see this number makes me personally have a hard time believe that most lobbies were solo. Because squads, I can understand, like, it's pretty unlikely for no one to exfil because you're going to get rest if you fuck
Yeah.
up. But in solos, it just takes one poison plant or one turret or one lockdown that you don't know how it works and like everyone else dies. Like 1.3% actually feels quite low to me. I would have thought that would be closer to
Interesting, yeah.
like probably 5%, honestly, if I had to guess.
Wow.
It's just like we had so many people. This is like by far the most people that have ever played marathon.
Oh yeah.
And it's tough. It's not, and I would just expect like that first day, I would just expect so many lobbies to be people running into ads and dying immediately, or tempting the final exfil and not realizing that it can spawn halfway to South Africa and you have no chance of getting there in a minute and dying that way, right? Like I guess when it's hard because if every match has 5 or 6 teams, it's like what are the odds that all of those people don't know how to play? But or with solos, I never did solos. Candidly, I did ruck runs, but I never did solos. Do we know if it's like 6 solos? Like surely it's not 18 solo people on March.
I heard somebody say that there are 9 total people,
Okay.
but I have no idea if that's true. And it seems like Bungie is like intentionally not putting the
obfuscating
numbers
that
out.
stuff.
Yes.
Like
They should.
obviously,
They
like
absolutely should.
people, I think people know like it's 5. I think for Dire Marsh, 5 teams is what everybody's saying.
I think it's 5
but-
for perimeter and 6 for Marsh are the numbers
Okay.
that I remember.
Okay, so
personally.
but like people have a general idea of that.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be surprised if they were even kind of like playing with those numbers or fudging those things just to try to keep people on their toes.
Can
I
you
definitely
ever-
had lobbies I felt like were smaller, and I had lobbies I felt like were a little bit bigger, but I never counted more than 12 bodies, I think, on Dire
Wow.
Marsh.
Yeah. Can you rook into a solo game?
No. Rook is
No.
trios only.
Yeah, okay.
I only did one
Interesting.
solo because I wanted to go in and lose some stuff to somebody and check out my gold magnum, which is the only gold thing I got the entire Server Slam on like Sunday night. And I ran into someone pretty quick.
Yeah.
But that was the only solo one I tried out.
Yeah, I didn't get any golds. They were super rare in this build. I'm curious how they tune. They should. I feel like, and they should. They are absolutely going like everything is undertuned to start, and then they'll kind of raise because it's
That's the way
in a
they
game.
should do it.
Yeah, in a game like this, once the economy is fucked, like you have to wait until you can't fix it until the slam.
You have to
right?
wait a seasonal reset.
Or yeah, the wipe is what I meant. But yeah, the numbers here that I'm just scrolling through that I find very interesting. 42% exfil rate on perimeter is crazy. Actually, I mean that's
very
like
high.
That's
really
super
high.
high. And 36% on Marsh. That also
That's
seems
wild.
very high. Yeah.
That's higher than the targets that they originally told. I don't know if you got told targets back in April, but
I remember
I
being told that there were targets. I don't remember what they were.
Oh, he told me in an interview. He said that they were kind of targeted because when everyone talks about being like, I don't know if they want marathon to be a hardcore game.
Yeah,
they absolutely do, because the target rates that were cited to me was an 80-20 failure rate.
Oh wow! For all of the maps, or for
I think that was like the total average that they wanted, which I guess like they could get to that technically if Outpost and Cryo have a really low.
I bet Cryo's
gonna have a really low rate.
Yeah, I bet they're targeting like 5% for that. Like I bet they're just being absolutely sadistic with Cryo.
Which I think they probably should. I mean, as long as the loot feels like insane in there, I think it makes a lot more sense for that to be a map where like 5-10%, where 20, 30, 40% of matches have 0 exfils.
Yeah.
Makes a lot more sense than something like Cryo.
With all the maps, like I don't think hitting 40, 30, 20, 10, like in that order of the 4 maps is necessarily a bad like target start range.
Well, you think that number for perimeter is gonna has been tanked by I wonder if they include beginner perimeter runs in that. Because otherwise that exfil rate is actually going to be a lot higher, because it's going to be absolutely tanked by the day one people coming in and understandably getting farmed by bots because they're not expecting it.
I want the rates of successful tutorials, because I know a lot of people that died in the tutorial.
Interesting.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. I got a tutorial in a different area than I've ever gotten it before.
Where was yours?
I got one in Station.
Yeah, mine was in Station too. Yeah,
I think everybody gets the same tutorial now.
Oh no, I see. Like it had always been in Overflow.
Every
time I've ever done the tutorial at the April event, I've done that tutorial like 7 times based on the playtest that I've done, and every time it's been an Overflow. And this one was in Station, and a friend of mine pulled up his recent players list. There are other players in the tutorial with you. Like if you spawn in Station, someone else is probably in Overflow doing their tutorial there, because a friend of mine had only done the tutorial, had a recent player that was like not on his friends list, that was like a person you have been in a match with on his listing. So he's a programmer and someone I've been playing with for years. I would not anticipate him to be lying about that. So that's interesting. Theoretically, you could probably find someone to PvP in your tutorial if you're fast enough. But
I wonder if there's walls or something.
I also wonder that.
Because they don't want people just like creating new accounts and griefing tutorial, right? Like
that would suck.
Yeah. 146,000 premium tick milks extracted. Hey Jake, do you want to tell everyone what tick milk is?
Delicious.
we got the lore confirmation about tick milk.
I've heard some things.
You've heard some things. You read some things. I know you read it.
I sent it to you as soon as I saw it.
And
I think people are just giving Toby a hard time, man. I think they need to let that guy breathe. He's clearly a genius trying to save lives.
And 385,000 drinkable cheeseburgers extracted. I really this was the first time I've played with such a fleshed out like valuable system, and I thought it was real. Like I was getting excited when I was finding like a journal or the
and a super fleshed out codex, so like all of that stuff has like lore meaning to it when you pull it out, which is really neat.
Remember, I just now looked at the time and I was like, man, remember when I was like, this is gonna take forever? Yes, we got a lot of stuff done. Okay, Server Slam, great stuff. Sorry, we have a lot of time. We have a lot of things folks watching, and we got not a lot of time. So major pain points from the slam. UI UX stuff, they've already talked about doing feedback, implementing feedback. For me, the big things there are, it's like just the weapon attachments are like just brutal.
Yeah. Are you talking about distinguishing them or putting them on? Because I don't know if you saw that attachment menu that that people discovered. You could like pull up the inspect menu and really easily move stuff around, which is nice. But...
well, yes, I did notice that, and I also put into top 5 things you should know about marathon video. So yeah, but so that part of it's cool. In run, like looting fast, like that, in the implants, like being entirely indistinguishable from each other is just the most painful thing ever. I don't know how you fix it short of like the Destiny icon system, but somehow they need to be distinguishable, in my opinion.
I would love to see them slap like an additional, like have a bunch of different like icons that fit toward kind of ideas that it's another like it's another like dictionary of things for you to learn, like Vow of the Disciple style, like symbol stuff that you'd have to learn eventually, but it would allow for it to be like, oh, okay, well, this is like this is the universal symbol for the stat of like pings or stuff, or like, you know, ping duration and stuff like that. Like if they put more of that kind of stuff like on the side of those as small icons, it would at least help the like glimpse value. Allow you to like tell.
Is exactly Destiny, right? Like, oh, this is a discipline piece. This is a grenade piece. So it's like, or this has Firefly on it. Like, it's kind of the same thing. And half of them are like Destiny perks anyways. So it's
you
know, give Torchbug, just give it the Firefly icon. No one will care. Well, people will care. They shouldn't. Well, I don't know.
I've seen people care that all of the perks are ripped from Destiny. So people will care. It's whether it's how serious we should take those cares, I think.
Thermal scopes are broken. They're definitely going to nerf the shit out of them. I think.
I saw a good idea for this.
I saw that too.
The way that they fix it is that, and I wish I could credit whoever said this, but I don't remember. What if the way they fix it is if you're like going through smoke or heavy fog at a certain distance, it's based off the heat buildup you have. So like out at a certain distance, you're like, if you have no heat, you're not visible.
Yeah.
But if you're high heat, you will be visible at a closer distance. Or at a farther distance.
It's time on Twitter says that. It's time is the one.
Oh, Stadia time?
Shout out.
Stadia time, yeah.
Oh, I love Stadia. Okay, cool.
Yeah, that was their idea. They have a cool graphic for it and everything. Go check that out.
Yeah, so I like the idea. The thing that really worries me with the thermal scope is you have to be careful how you nerf it. Because if it's, I think there should definitely be a range mechanic. Like it can just see way too far right now, especially on the sniper. But they are entirely useless if someone's using like a scrambler or something. Like it is just solid purple. And so if you nerf it too heavily, it'll just become, oh, okay, we're just using the variable sights instead. You know? And so it's like there definitely needs to be balancing. And I don't mind this idea, but this sort of idea means that later in the season when everyone has their thermal upgrades, and if you're on a character like Vandal that barely builds heat, or Vandal, when you get there, I think there's a core when she gets shot and she loses her shield, you lose all of your heat. And so it's like, it makes this sort of like, there are a lot of things that end up being very consequential for this idea, which I don't mind, but it's, you know, there comes a time where it's like, okay, using a thermal scope is just like useless. You know what I mean? Oh, it's raining. My gun's useless. I can't use this at all. So,
it is the most powerful weapon mod in the game, right?
By far.
Like it's clearly the best right now. Honestly, I say fuck it, just leave it as is, purely because it looks super fucking cool. You got like this whole aggro drift shit going on. It just looks gnarly. I think just leave it because it's cool visually.
I think you just up the rarity.
You up the rarity, and in short term, I think you half the range of it, and you just like, you know, you can't snipe people across them. Like there were clips of people like spawning in 10 seconds later, shooting the next spawn over through.
Oh, that happened to Jake and I. And
oh my god,
we played on Friday for a brief minute with a friend of mine.
That was almost unbelievable. I'm glad that was streamed. We went out and we paced it out and like pinged it so we knew. 50 meters before somebody was literally on top of the building we spawned in. It was crazy.
We spawned in the like outside building of AI uplink that comes up from the tunnels. And I guess another team spawned on the other side of AI uplink, and they were on the building and they ran us down literally within like less than like 15 seconds of spawning.
Wow.
And then Jake ended up getting us up as triage, but it was the fastest that I died the entire service lane. It was ridiculous.
Wow.
I wonder if they had like a thermal scope or something and they just hit us from further away than we thought.
Yeah. But entirely possible. They gave a lot of feedback. I don't know how much they'll actually like realistically be able to change before
for launch. Like almost nothing.
Right.
But they were making quick changes like during the playtest, which people were noticing, which is cool for them. That's a big Bungie win. So
it's a big Bungie win, with the caveat of like I don't want to, from a Destiny standpoint, something they have not historically been super good at is, I'm going to mess up the terminology here, but is keeping their versions, like their version management has not been super good. And I am a little concerned. I am hopeful, but concerned that they did all this work to fix a bunch of stuff that happened in the server slam, and it's not going to get translated to the full retail version of the game, and it's going to come out and people are going to be like, I thought we fixed this in the slam, and then like 24 hours later they're going to fix it again. Just like when you think about how many different bugs have been like reintroduced into Destiny, and some of that is reintroduction, but some of it is also just like surely someone is building off of an older version of the game.
That happens every time.
It
Every time they bring back something from the DCV, there's a bug from when that activity first came out, and it's like you're just using the vanilla version of this activity to
they're using in like an old version of the game and building on it. Probably to cut development time, and then not going back through the change log and being like, oh, we fixed this. So now you have the launch bug is there again or whatever. So I don't know. I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful, but I'm also like, I'm guarding myself for the reality that something like that could very well pop up in the full version of the game, and we're gonna have to wait again for some of those fixes.
Yeah.
Like the prox chat fix. I'm hopeful, but
we'll see. I don't know. This team so far has been on top of things, but
agreed.
It's I always struggle with this is like how much Bungie baggage does the Marathon team I think deserve is the wrong word, but like how much can we like attribute there? Like it's, you know, it is still the Tiger engine, but it's a modified Tiger engine, and it's a lot of the people that worked on Destiny, but they've learned a lot, and it's a brand new project, and so it's like I'm willing to give them all the benefit of the doubt for now, and then we'll see what happens. Plus, it's a much simpler game, right? So
yeah,
I'm sure that helps.
Yeah, I'm not saying I think we're gonna hit that stuff. I'm saying as a longtime Destiny fan, I'm guarding myself for the very real possibility that like the mouse fix that you had to do in the first couple hours of the thing, you may have to do it again.
God, that would be such a disaster.
It would be a disaster. Don't get me wrong. I think highly enough of the team that I think they are going to do it. They're going to make it happen. I'm just saying I am preparing myself for the very real possibility that it's not going to happen. In the same way that every Destiny expansion launch, I prepare myself to be like, what bug is going to come back that has been dead for 2 years? And so far, I don't think I've hit a Destiny release where I've been like, it was nothing. So it's always something. The Tiger engine seems like I think the Tiger engine is actually a huge benefit for Bungie. I think it's the reason why I think anybody who hates on the Tiger engine like doesn't understand that this is why the game's gunplay is as good as it is and why no one else can match Bungie on that. But it also clearly comes with some baggage when it comes to like that kind of stuff. So we'll see. I'm curious and hopeful that they've squashed some of that stuff again.
For sure. Let's throw sales numbers into here. I see that you just have like the final positions on here. I saw like someone actually, there's like a tool you can use to estimate Steam sales. Do you know if that's reliable?
I think I know what you're talking about. There's like an algorithm that people have put through it. I tend to agree with other people that like, I think it's like I said last week. Like, I think the thing on the internet is people want to be able to have a definitive statement. And they want to be able to say, this is what's happening. We know we have enough information. We don't have enough information. We just don't. Like, we're not going to have enough information on Thursday. right? Like it's gonna be a longer burn to really be able to tell how things are going. So I don't feel super comfortable believing those kinds of things, and would need to also like look through historically the data on all sorts of that, because like if you were to the information about Highguard shutting down just came out today, and if you were to look at just their day one, like it would look a lot better. It would not look like a game that was going to shut down in 48 hours, or in 48 days, even though the bounce rate was pretty high. So you just got to take time on a lot of that stuff. I think if you're looking at like, I saw somebody pushing back against this as well, being like, hey, I don't agree that like the game is looking bad. I think it's actually, we have enough data to say it's a huge success. And I was similarly like, I think we should take the same amount of skepticism on saying the game is a great success that we do on saying the game is already a failure. Like, obviously it's not either right now. We just don't know. So I'm very skeptical about doing stuff like that. But the positions of top sellers look really good. With number 2 on Steam in the US is where I think the highest it's been, and then number 3 globally, which is huge. It also went up quite a bit after the slam. On just like once Steam database caught up, it was like globally in the 20s, I think, for most of the slam, and then as soon as it went down, that's when it shot up to number 3. So that's huge, especially because it beat out like CS:GO, which case sales are insane, and also it was never going to reach number 1 because the slam came out the same day as Resident Evil Requiem, which is currently the highest rated video game of all time on Metacritic.
Of all time?
Yeah. It has beaten out Expedition. Excuse me, it's beaten out Expedition 33 currently.
Higher than Balatro?
Yeah, dog.
These people have no fucking idea what they're talking about.
Hey,
I'm excited to play it. It looks good. Is it really?
It's really good. I love Resident Evil 8. Like Village is probably my favorite one, and Requiem is like, it had some stuff that was coming into it where I was nervous about it. That I was like, oh, it's gonna be 2 halves of 2 different games. But they nail it. It's perfect. I love it. It was never going to be number 1. That's a Gooner game,
Scarrow.
Gooner game.
Leon in there. Leon.
Leon is true. There is no quite equivalent to Lady Dimitrescu in this one, so the goon factor is not as high as
you guys want to know something about me? Never played a Resident Evil.
That's so surprising. You seem like somebody who would be so into Resident Evil. Maybe it's just the metal.
But you can go first person in this one, right?
Oh, 7 and 8 were designed to be first person.
Oh, there you go. And I love Alan Wake. They're similar? And I actually really like Silent Hill, which is
if you like Silent Hill, I like Resident Evil more than Silent Hill, because Resident Evil has more of like Silent Hill is very much about like the scares primarily, and Resident Evil is about that, but it's also about like how like efficiency and finding survival stuff around you, and so you can kind of, it's more about exploring the environment to find stuff, to do puzzles and stuff. I was a latecomer to Resident Evil, and I think you should check out 7, 8, and Requiem at least.
One of these days, I'll stop being busy and I'll retire at hopefully very young, like 60 or something, and I'll just go back and play the back catalog of games that I've missed, because I have decided to pick games as a service is my main food source. So
one game.
Resident Evil good. The point is, it was never going to beat Resident Evil 9. Never, ever, ever. Was it ever going to beat Resident Evil 9?
Why is it the highest rated game ever? That's ridiculous.
Because it's really fucking good. I don't think it's rated high, but because stuff like Metacritic and stuff, it takes time for all of these. When a game like this comes out and it's got really high scores, it needs, you have to have more people come in and review it who didn't get the copies early or whatever,
is this just reviewer scores?
Yes, I believe so. It's the current Metacritic. It makes it the highest.
Okay, well, so yeah, that's I guess I don't
over
really
time it will go down.
But is this like public, or is this like shill reviews only?
Shill reviews.
I don't know what you mean by shill reviews.
From the biggest shill, from the shill expert.
No, is it just like professional reviewers, or is this a Rotten Tomatoes site, or is it like a fucking whatever?
It's
Metacritic is?
Metacritic.
I don't pay attention to any of that shit. I don't fucking know.
Metacritic
I play Destiny, man.
Bro.
My game has been hated by the masses for a decade.
Yeah, I did my part when I was at Polygon, for Destiny. But yeah, I mean, it's Metacritic is only going to be people who are registered with Metacritic, and also people who give scores to games. So it's more like legacy outlet focused. So it's always going to the game is good. So
Okay.
it's always going to start high. And there are going to be people who are outliers who eventually come in and are like, I don't like it actually, that are going to bring the score down eventually. But
I'm just
a lot of that
curious. I'm
stuff
gonna look up
starts high.
the top 5 Metacritic games of all time, and I'm just gonna rip them off. Like I'm just gonna be like, cool, yes, no, and we're gonna look at this right here. Okay, well the first one is The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. So
Fantastic.
You might be looking at
I don't know.
something slightly different, but yeah, I mean that's a good choice. I'm with you on that. I'm with
Best
them on that
games
one. That's
of
good.
all time. 14,100 results by Metascore. I don't know. I don't make the rules, man. I'm just telling you what I'm reading here. Soul Calibur is 2. That's crazy.
The original Soul Calibur? Are you looking like you might be looking all time?
I am looking at it.
I don't know. I'll be honest. I don't ever use the site anymore.
No, you're
it
fine.
Might be PlayStation games. I'm trying to remember like what
Grand Theft Auto 4 is 3. Super
choice.
Mario Galaxy 1 and then Super Mario Galaxy 2 are 4 and 5. So I think the site's legit. I like this. The Soul Calibur rating is kind of crazy. I don't really get that. Sure.
Yeah, Soul Calibur 2. Come on, if you're gonna do any of them.
That's the first one from '99.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's wild. Anyways,
that's a Gooner game. Talking about Gooner games, Soul Calibur.
Didn't they put Yoda in one of the Soul Caliburs at some point or something?
There is one of the Soul Caliburs that has Yoda in it. I do like how you are very concerned about the amount of time this podcast is going to take, and you're like, we should go look at what the best Metacritics are of all time after going on a tangent about Resident Evil a little bit.
Yeah, it's fine. This is a Resident Evil podcast now or whatever. I saw the movies where he gets diced into cubes. And that's Resident Evil movie, I think.
Yeah, that's it. Every Resident Evil fan listening go, oh my god, you've only experienced the worst possible version of these things.
I didn't watch the Lance Reddick Netflix series either.
R.I.P.
Yeah, R.I.P.
I've heard it was actually quite good, but the oh my god, I can't believe I'm gonna space on his name right now. But the director of Weapons and Barbarian just finished wrapping.
Zach Krieger.
Zach Krieger, thank you. Is just finished up wrapping up his Resident Evil movie that I'm very excited about. So I know he's a big fan of the games and stuff. So
if I was him, I would hide a gallon of PCP in every single movie I made.
R.I.P. Trevor Moore. It all comes back together.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, no one's maybe for all of our viewers that are younger than me, look up The Whitest Kids You Know. Greatest sketch comedy show of all time. Yes, better than the one you're thinking of. Anyways,
Chris Morrison.
What else?
They also said Bungie also came out and said they were looking into duos after the slam on one of the
I don't think they do that shit. It was hard enough to get them to agree to do solos, man. They were so resistant to the idea of solos.
I don't know. I think duos is more fitting towards what the game is because like you have at least then you have some synergy between shells, which is kind of like the point. So
I guess, yeah.
I don't know. I think if they have the population, they'd do it. But I think that's why they don't want to pull the trigger on it yet, is they want to see where the population lands. I mean, I think I would benefit from duos personally. I think I got my usual 3-person team, but it's a lot pretty common to run into situations where it's just there's only one of us online.
Yeah.
2 of us.
Yeah, I guess.
It would be nice to do like a run or 2.
I find it weird how the solos, the map isn't balanced around solos.
I'm not a huge solos fan.
Do we think that's weird though? Is it like if the bots just never get easier for solos? Is that fine? Like I
think it's weird. I think if they're gonna have it, there should be fewer bots, or more spread out bots.
It's mostly the health of the bosses for me, the Wraith Wardens. I just find it weird, or the Scorch Warden, the Wraith Warden. I just find it weird that they have the same amount of health. And
I agree with you.
What does that mean for Mr. Compiler as well, right? Like doing a solo cryo run, if that's even possible, is going to be probably the largest flex of all time. No, well, yeah, probably. I was gonna say doing a Rook run, but I don't. You probably can't do Rook runs on cryo.
Yeah, I would assume not.
I would be pretty surprised if Rook could go to cryo.
Yeah,
That feels pretty against the spirit of what Cryo is supposed to be.
Yeah. All right, roadmap time. Jake.
Yes.
I'm putting you on the spot, Jake.
Roadmap, 3-month seasons. We're getting a nighttime mode for what's it called? For
Marsh.
Dire Marsh, I believe.
Marsh.
That's in season 2 though.
Yeah, also another runner is coming, which I'm kind of surprised. I honestly was kind of thinking it was going to be a long time before we saw another runner. So the fact that they're already hinting at that is kind of interesting to me, just for balancing sake. I think that's weird, but
Bungie's hinting, but Sony's just straight up telling us.
Yeah, Sentinel. I think for the first year they are going to alternate map and runner for every season. I at least for the first year. That's typically how they do Destiny stuff too. Is like they make sure to have a major, dungeon raid type of thing, and they do like that's just like the Bungie way. Is like make sure there's a major beat that you can sell people on.
Yeah.
Yes, we're good. Yes, sorry, Jake.
I don't know. I don't know if I see. I mean, I do think a new runner is going to be a huge deal, and I do think it'll change the game. But in terms of like exploration and the feel of something new coming to the game, I don't think it's a replacement for a map. And I would honestly
not a replacement. But that's why they're also making the variation of Marsh. And I would be personally very surprised if it's just nighttime. Like I bet they kind of they hinted at like maybe some of the events changing.
The UESC flood in, and then we get the garbled text right after. Obviously, everybody already knows what it is.
You think there's going to be a compiler in Marsh?
I think the fungal, infection that's affecting the colonists might, present itself in a way that was a concept for Marathon 2, which became the Flood. Robert McLeese, anybody?
Can you send me a picture? I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Fungal 4. Just type in Fungal 4 concept art Marathon 2.
So you think there will be fungal robots?
Fungal something. I think, we're kind of getting into maybe some of the stuff we'd want to talk about cinematic or stuff. But I think
these are hard, dude. What the hell?
Yeah. And a lot of the narrative stuff in the game right now is... Do you want me to go down this right now? This might be a little... Do we want to get through the season's info? Maybe we talk about...
Let's get through the season info. Yeah.
Okay.
There will likely be new gameplay elements to that as well. Yes. I would be shocked, especially with it being the second
Marsh,
season.
But without lights.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, talk about thermals being OP, by the way.
But... that was the literal first thing I thought when I saw it.
We skipped season 1.
Right. What's season 1 called? I want to say Off the Deep End, but that's not right.
Death is the
first step. Or they call it just first step, and they call, funnily enough, for Destiny fans, they call season 2 Nightfall, which is just like, oh god. But yes,
double birds on that one.
Yeah. Death is the first step, which is a sick name. 3 planet-side zones, so the 3 maps plus cryo. 6 faction upgrades, 28 guns. They said something in the mid. So there's an event called the Carry event. The
CARRI. It's very Resident Evil coded.
Do you know what that is, Jake?
Yes, it's so they're gonna have like a prom kind of thing for the runner shells, and then when you go there, you're gonna be tricked, and the thief is gonna pour the blue blood on you. Yeah.
That's good. Okay, it took me a second. That's good. I like that. We're gonna we're gonna get a new gun, which is funny to advertise a new gun when we're getting 28 new guns, but okay. Cryo mode.
Spanker. You think it'll be the Spanker?
No way.
Maybe.
No way.
Hey, okay. The one thing I do think, I was not thinking it would be a good idea to do it, but with how lethal the wardens are, and obviously we're talking about the compiler on board the Marathon, I wonder if it's like a super rare thing and you get one shot, fire and forget. Maybe that's going to be like a pivotal PvE kind of thing for like high health bosses.
Okay,
it's possible.
Like the RPG in Resident Evil 4.
Yeah, exactly.
So tying it back in.
Yeah.
What are the 4 guns called? When you kill the pink ones and they drop their little arm cannon thing.
I think in the original game it's just called the alien gun. Am I crazy?
Sick. I want that shit. Anyways, Cryo comes out. We get a ranked mode. There is a mid-season tuning patch, which I hate that they put that on the roadmap because Destiny people have been down that road before. And then new implant. So I am more interested in the things they don't talk about, the live narrative sort of stuff, which is sort of, I assume that has to do with the carry event, and I assume that has to do with cryo and whatever goes into Nightfall, but like, it's more the stuff they don't talk about here that has me
Did they
really
not?
interested.
Did they not kind of hint at like your priority contract progression won't reset, or was it more so that your
intro
faction?
quests.
Okay,
Yeah.
so just the intro quest. So the priority faction quest will come back, and we'll be redoing those. Does it seem to imply that? It doesn't say directly.
It doesn't say. I assume the priority contracts every season are like the main early on like vehicle of the story. And so we'll get like new priority contracts to be like, oh, it's nighttime now. There's the fungus is walking around and trying to like lick you, and you know, and
they
it's
can
like,
use that in the trailer. That'll be good. For
that's free.
Clip it. Do you think that they're going to get us new priority contracts over the course of the season? Like, do you think it's going to be like on a? I know there's no definitive like reset.
Surely, like when cryo launches, right? We get new cryo contracts for cryo.
Oh, surely there will be cryo contracts for cryo. But I mean, like, do we think 9 weeks from now or something? There's going to be a new story contract that will like give us a reason to go do something in an area. Because I mean, contracts are really more than just like a vehicle for storytelling. They're also a vehicle for getting players into scrapes by guaranteeing they're going to all go to the same place on a map, like by forcing competition. So there's benefits to pushing them out. Like I wonder if it's going to be kind of like a old seasonal Destiny thing where we would log in on a Tuesday and be like, obviously hopefully a little bit less like prescriptive than that, but I wonder if we'll log in on a random Wednesday and be like, oh shit, there's a new contract to go check out the anomaly on Dire Marsh after doing some stuff, and you get another voice log or something.
That would be cool, but I would want them to be, I almost want them to be tied to like community event style stuff. Like, hey, the anomaly seems to be freaking out. There's a countdown or whatever, and it's like everyone be in the game at this time or whatever. I still have such. I think it's copium. I don't know. I want them to achieve what they've tried with Destiny for so long with like Fortnite style live events, and I just want them to do it. And we're gonna find out real fast if that's a reality. It'll be in the first 2 seasons. If they don't try it, then they're not doing it, type of thing. So
something about the language on here that was interesting. I don't remember if it was on Twitter or where it was. I'm doing a bad job at this, but like the language they used made it sound very much like, seemed to confirm to me that the cryo archive will be in the first 2 weeks, because ranked mode comes out midway through March, and they basically were seemingly talking about it like launch the first 3 maps, tackle cryo archive, and then get ready for rated mode in midway through March. That certainly suggests to me that like we're not going to be waiting that long for cryo.
And they confirmed it's a community unlock
too. Yes, that's really cool. Or like
that's
at least some sort of puzzle.
I'm
that
still kind of goes into the cinematic too a little bit, but
I still wonder if that means if that's going to be the type of thing where, because also they announced that Outpost is actually not coming out day 1; it's coming out day 2. So
I missed that.
On Friday, right?
Yeah. So they said, I think it's on Twitter, that they basically said, so the first 24 hours there's no Outpost. It's you have to reach level 12, and then you have to wait until day 2. So there's a possibility that if you're going ham on contracts, you might run out of contracts that you can't do on Perimeter and Marsh, which I don't know how I feel about that personally. I don't love that.
That's weird, right? Like we all agree that's weird.
Yeah, I agree. But that kind of makes me wonder if it's kind of like we talked about last week, where it's going to be a type of thing where it is a community unlock, but not necessarily a like.
I think with the Outpost thing, it's just a safety net to keep players in the same location, and also it's gonna be locked behind level so it's a day and a level. So people who are really good, there is a situation where it's like Crow and Taco and Drewski, where they're gonna, and there's more people than just them. Those are very visible. Also, Scarrow. I'm throwing Scarrow in here. I'm saying it now. They're gonna get level 12. Okay,
Drewski and I we're rolling together. We're a team, bro.
Dog, you're getting carried by Drewski? Damn,
bro.
but I think there's a reality where it's like very high skilled players are going to know where to go. And the moment they hit 12, regardless of any priority contract or anything, they could be a situation where, you know, they're infilling multiple times into outposts when it's super low player population and just running those over and over again. I think they might be worried about like a loot imbalance. I don't know if that problem is solved by one day, but it does give a lot of players who are going to put in a big session, I think, the opportunity to get to level 12. And I think level 12 is pretty reasonable.
It's pretty fast,
if you're gonna do
though. It'll take a couple hours. Yeah. If you are doing stuff.
The thing about it though is at least they're like, at least as far as we know, there's no cap. There's no like timed cap on the faction reps. So even if you get there early, like you're still gonna have stuff to do for those first, you know, if you get there 16 hours in and you're doing a 24-hour stream or whatever, like you can still spend that other time getting your SIAC rep up, which is critical for some of the early upgrades and stuff like that. So there's still gonna be shit to do. But I do kind of wonder if they'll take that approach to cryo, and when people quote unquote unlock cryo archive, if it's going to be a thing where you can immediately go to the map, or if it's going to be a thing where they're like, we're going to launch the trailer for cryo now because some team unlocked it and it'll be live tomorrow.
Yeah, we talked about this last week. I'm definitely on that one. Like it'll be a marketing beat. So
I think they'll do it. I agree.
Okay. Sorry. Sentinel. I think it'll be a bubble shield character. All of the other consumables have a character that generally does what it does. There's characters that EMP. There's characters that heat grenade. There's characters that smoke grenade. There's no character that bubble shields.
Interesting.
So that's my current theory.
Even with bubble shield already being equipment?
Smoke grenade's already equipment. EMP grenade's already equipment.
Fair,
They're all already equipment. But
thermal grenades,
and you can maybe make the argument that destroyer shield is kind of the equivalent of bubble shield. Maybe
destroyer shield's a weak ass shield.
It's one directional,
and it's it's more aggressive than defensive. And Sentinel to me is like I think they're gonna make a Titan bubble character.
That's kind of what it says to me as well.
Yeah,
it's like so powerful though. Like a bubble shield's basically a free extract. I mean, if you can find one of those in map, like cool, free exfil. It lasts the whole time. You run up, throw it on the thing as soon as you start the exfil, and you can literally just stand in it. It's like very hard to break. So that would be super duper powerful. I'm curious if they'll do something like that.
And I bet like the characters, like if you dip in now in a bubble shield and then you leave, you get EMP bullets for 10 seconds or whatever. Like I bet it'll be weapons all light type shit. So
yep, I agree. That makes sense to me. I did see someone speculating a long time ago when they were talking about the Spanker adding it. That's the rocket launcher in Marathon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I'm using. Okay. When they were talking about adding it, being like, I wonder if they'll ever do that. I saw someone suggest that what makes the most sense to them is that it becomes part of a runner's kit, rather than it just being a weapon that you can find. So I could see a reality where Sentinel is kind of an explosives and protection kind of character.
That'd be cool.
Something like that, or they might save like that for something else, or that will never happen and they will just add a rocket launcher. Who knows? But that would be interesting. As somebody who loves Void Titan, I am excited by a character named Sentinel. That's a playstyle that I feel like is not super reflective of the game right now.
I've literally made all these references 100 times, and I literally said Bubble Titan. It never occurred to me that there's literally a Titan subclass called Sentinel.
Yeah.
Oh God. Marathon is just Destiny 3.
I said it. Hey!
Oh man. I can't do that.
We got new ARG stuff. They put out a picture for the metal card. I put the metal cards away, but I guess there's a puzzle with the metal cards that we didn't solve. We got these creators and reviewers
didn't solve. It was okay. It was solved, but we didn't know that it was a website. And also, I don't know. I've looked into it. Was there any indication that it was? I guess if the idea was we were supposed to take this phrase and just try any possible domain, but it seems to me like the first clue was when they made the tweet and they put the I emoji and the O after it.
Yeah.
Because they were and they were heavily documented and all the hexadecimal stuff was solved. It just wasn't like at the time.
The hexadecimal stuff on the cards never turned into anything. I spent a lot of time trying to solve those. And even with these new websites, they never did any. There's a code on there still. And each of the three cards, Unity is power, They all have different codes. 2 of them have 28. 1 of them has 31. I never could figure out what I put every combination I could into that stupid website the first time, the USEC terminal. Never found out what it was. So there's still a puzzle there that is not solved. Yeah. I know it down to my soul.
Maybe, I don't know. Shout out Undefined too for sending me the link right when it happened, when they made that tweet. That was kind of crazy. I feel like very insane that they chose to do that on top of the fucking server slam. I don't know.
Can someone run us through kind of the ARGs? Because like I haven't paid much attention to the ARGs total. So like
all of them, or just the new ones?
Just the like what happened this weekend? Like,
okay,
what happened? Like
so they tweeted out on I don't fucking know what day. Saturday, Jake? Was it Saturday?
Yes, yeah, it was Saturday.
And they tweeted out a picture of the 3 metal cards that creators could have gotten. And it said, our creators missed something. And then it's essentially the tweet said .io. And the cards on them say Unity is power. There were 3 versions of the cards. There's the Unity cards in power. And so it was found out that that was a hit. You go to unityispower.io, brought you to a website, and it asked for a code to enter. And I don't know how the fuck anyone figured this out, but the code to enter was the DAC code on the top of the collector's edition. And as far as I'm aware, there's no hint for that. So I guess people were just out here trying random shit. Like, I don't fucking know. Because I was like looking at, I was trying to find out who solved that for my video. Because I always like to give credit if I can find out who solved it. And it was just some guy in chat. It just tried it. I don't fucking know. So and then it unlocked to like a UESC terminal again. Yeah. There were DMs in there between, I guess, employees or something. And then eventually it was found that there was a fabrication software for like a card, like a security card or something, that required a code. But in order to get the code, you had to find a hidden crossword. The crossword was pretty cool, actually. That was the
coolest part. Yeah, that was the coolest part of it.
It was when you clicked on, there wasn't anything on, it was just a blank crossword, but when you clicked on each of the rows and columns, it brought up like a poster or piece of graffiti in the game with like a word taken out of it. And you had to go in game and find out what the word was. And when you filled out the entire crossword correctly, a bunch of the cells highlighted. It gave you it went unscrambled. There was the name Marcus Tiberius Buendia. Yeah. Which was, I guess, some nerd.
Some nerd. The president of the UESC when the marathon launched.
Yeah, some nerd. So he's like a dead nerd too. Or he's in cryo.
Or alive, or, you know, in a biosynthetic body.
How long do people live in the marathon universe, like regular people?
No, they haven't given us like a good but that is something that we've been talking about, like, because how old are these people? Like Bernard Strauss, now we have an image of him. He seems like super old, like,
yeah.
But you know, he's frozen in cryo, but maybe people are living to like 150. I'd imagine if they have the technology to put your mind in a, you know, biomata body, they probably also figured out like cancers and stuff.
Yeah, fair enough. Maybe. Yeah, and especially someone like a UESC president would have access to all that. So yeah, and that unlocked the fabrication software, which was a game of Mastermind, which was a game I had never heard of. And chat taught me how to play. It was pretty cool. And essentially, you had to solve 18 symbols, and when you got the correct sequence of 18 symbols, what the fuck happened? Oh, you got the president's security card. And then when you got the president's security card, you could access a part of the terminal which had like a new OST track and a bunch of concept art.
Yeah. So was that the same, or was it the next day that the Pathways into Darkness stuff popped up?
That was the next day.
Of the stuff. Okay.
Yeah, so after that, people were looking around in like the inspect element, like source code of the site, and there was just a teaser that said like, "Come back tomorrow, nerds," or some shit. And it was like, I think it was essentially like, "We'll see you tomorrow," or something. And then when you came back the next day, you had a new piece of mail. And this goes into the lore. So actually, it's pretty funny. There were 2 employees that were like DMs, like a Teams chat or whatever, and they were talking shit to each other the whole time. It was just like a bunch of like coworker bullshit. And at the end of it, one of them I thought died, but it turns out he just got fired, I guess. And then he tried to recruit the other guy to Mida. So it's actually pretty good. And the recruitment to Mida was some like a Rubik's Cube style slider puzzle, where you had to solve 3 of those, and it showed a picture of Mida stuff. And there, it said, "Thought we were done here," and that's what sent us to LA. Did I talk about any of LA on this?
No.
I went to LA.
You said no teasers.
No teasers? Oh, yeah, I did say that. Yeah, I went, me and Mr. Awful Waffles, my friend Milo, we went to LA. We found some shit. Video out. Oh, yes, I did say all that. Sorry, I'm tired. The site was done because the source code was updated. That was like, see you soon or until we meet again. And then the next day, which I think was yesterday, Bungie put out a site where you can make Mida zines, which is like, I guess we have, through this process, been effectively recruited to Mida now, which is weird because I thought that happened with the other ARGs, but I don't, who the fuck knows? I don't, it's a new batch of people now, so whatever. But you can make your own custom zines. I made one that said chickens are cool. And that's based.
You missed the best part of these websites was the sound design. The audio on the website, and Ryan, you should go. Literally, everyone should go to the website just to hear it. Like every click, every drag, every interaction had like,
is it
I don't know, no.
Unity is power.io.
.io. And I mean, it sounds incredible. I don't think they've ever really put out who worked on the ARG stuff. I know John Goff and Robert McLeese, I think he had made a post talking about how they had written a lot of the stuff for the original stuff.
I can say very vaguely because I met them, because they invited me to Bungie and when the second ARG hit, and I was pissed because I land on the runway in Seattle and I turn my phone back on and they're like, by the way, we're launching ARG in 10 minutes, 3 hours ago. And I was like, I got invited here because I'm like the ARG guy. Like, what the fuck? And so I roll up to Bungie. I'm kind of like high key mad. And they're like, we'll make it up to you. And they pulled me into a conference room with all the people that worked on it. And they're all sitting around watching Astacross. Like, all right, plan that social post, do this. And it's I'm not going to dox anyone, but they do work with a third party for the marathon ARGs.
Okay. Well, they need to put the name out of whoever did the audio design, because that shit was literally perfect. I honestly almost wish that some of the UI stuff inside the game had the same kind of like twinkles and electronic, bing bongs in there. Yeah. It feels good.
Chad said really cool. It was just Code Racer. Like a lot of those sounds were Code Racer, or in the same scale as Code Racer or something.
Maybe it sounds like it based on just like clicking around right now. It sounds very much like the same. Like the vocal samples from Code Racer.
I missed the actual best thing. In the final puzzle, in the fabrication puzzle, there was still the asteroid bullshit happening with all the symbols in the background, but you could find a burger. And if you click the burger, everything turned into burgers. And that was sick.
That is one thing that we missed, is that they put out the audio Vidoc last week, like the day after that we put up
the audio Vidoc.
Oh, with Ryan Lott and Chase Combs.
Yeah.
That was really good. Fantastic.
God, there's too much marketing for this game. It's absurd how much
literally
marketing
not enough for us to like talk about stuff.
Yeah. Okay. See, that's okay. That, like my first thing I said, ARG, awesome, incredible, love all the little bits, love the concept, cool. What the fuck are they thinking? Why is this happening on top of the Surface Slam? Who's it for? Everybody, okay, one, I don't think that this is a very niche ARG. We're like, Scaro's solving a little puzzle. I mean, there's an audience here. There's people who care about it, but it's like, it's the people who are bought in on the game. Yeah. I don't think that's getting anyone else into it. And also, all the people who want to be checking that out, it's like, bro, I'm playing the game. I'm reading the codex entries. Like, just do this last weekend. Why are we doing this right now, man? I don't have enough time to enjoy.
One of the puzzles requires you to be in the game, though.
Well, okay, and I have a fucking solution for that, actually. I'm glad that you brought that up.
Okay.
It's almost, how amazing would it be if there was a tauseti.world website that allowed you to explore the maps and look at little POIs, and they showed little posters and stuff? How cool would it have been if the ARG was integrated into having to utilize that website to go to the POIs and find the posters that way? Then it wouldn't have had to overlap.
Has that site been used at all?
Yes, to
Oh, for some
complete
contracts,
in the Discord.
That seems like such a high amount of development cost for nothing.
I think my thinking there is that they're going to turn it into like a relevant resource when the game fully launches, where it's like it has all the weapons with the stats in like a more, you get what I'm saying, like a format.
Oh, like an API type of way. Yeah, maybe they make their own dim type stuff. That could be kind of cool. They have there's an official Destiny mobile app that you can pick up bounties and shit on. So I wonder. Yeah, I don't know.
And they have all the shells in there now and all the weapons. So I think just adding stats and little bits in there could be what they do.
Yeah, it could be cool. Yeah, too much marketing. And speaking of too much marketing, they also happen to just drop a fucking cinematic masterpiece on us today. And the cinematic masterpiece just happened to be scored by Ryan Lott. Is that his name? Ryan Lott?
No. Ryan Lott and Poppy.
Yeah, and Poppy, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I know Poppy. I'm a big fan of Poppy. Ryan doesn't know who Poppy is, so
no, but no one else is mentioning that it's also directed by Harmony Korine.
I know.
The
also
director of like Spring Breakers and shit.
Kids and Gummo and Aggro Drift and Beach Bum. Harmony Korine is such a cool pull and such a not what I would expect. A very interesting choice and
weird choice.
Cool ass fucking dude. Yeah.
Is this? Wait,
you didn't know what fucking Resident Evil was. You're not gonna know Harmony Korine, bro.
Yeah, I don't know who this is. I'm just saying, like, hopefully they did great work. This was incredible. We got to get more of this shit, right? Like, there's no way. Everything they've done for this game is so fucking cinematic. Sony's putting their full weight, obviously, behind this. Make it a goddamn TV show already. What is happening?
Or at least secret level something.
Are these pilots? Like, what's happening?
They keep, I mean, like, the hope is that people, the hope from all the people complaining that Marathon is not single player, that there's no, like, campaign or anything, is that people hear that they are interested in the style and want more from it, and something like an animated series or something
just
like
this style. This style is perfect.
This style would be very expensive to do a large series in.
I want to see
you could much more easily make something like a Mighty Nine or Vox Machina show, similar, or like the Castlevania style of those games that they did.
But
it's going to be a lot easier to do that.
This is gorgeous. 200,000 views in 10 hours. Oh my god, dude! Their trailers have been getting so many views. What the fuck? Okay, I want to.
It's incredible. It's like one of the coolest things I've ever seen for a game like this.
2.3 million views on the Roberto Miyago short as well. There is an audience for this type of media.
Oh,
clearly,
for sure. That's what I'm saying. Is hopefully that's what they take from everyone being like, why no single player game? Hopefully what they take from that is like people are way into the style and they could get away with doing
the Destroyer cinematic, 1.3 million views.
Yeah.
I mean, that one has the most sauce of all of them.
I'm going to have a hot take here. I think it's a great trailer. I think it's fantastic. I think also the presentation of what's occurring and how it ties into the actual playing of the game, great. Out of all the cinematics we got announce Alberto Miyago, all the shell cinematics, even I would say some of the trailer cinematic stuff we're getting, this is my least favorite. This is my out of everything. This is the bottom. And I like Poppy. I fuck with Poppy. I love Harmony Korine. I love I love the concept. I just think, I don't know. Some of the animations to me just didn't feel tonally in line. I like it. It's great. I'm just saying, out of everything,
that's surprising.
It's my least favorite one. I think it's cool, and I love seeing the stuff with the marathon. I do think that they're hinting at like kind of how we're gonna unlock the map, or at least maybe like how you get to the marathon ship, and maybe there's gonna be more to that. But yeah, I don't know. I just think also there was kind of like this focus in what they're talking about over and over again about like the gritty nature and the darkness, and even like doesn't the post or the article today end with like the cosmic horror world of marathon? And I just feel like this was very bright. The animations felt like there's choppiness to the Miyago cinematic, even in the like Destroyer and the Assassin cinematics. There's something that's a little bit more.
You watched them murder each other like 14 times, right?
I get it. There is violence. There is violence.
Blood everywhere.
And I love that.
The guy gets hit by the compiler and his fucking arm falls off, dude.
It was fantastic. I did love it. But I do think in the totality of everything, That's probably my.
That's why
I just really love everything else as well as I guess.
This is. I did just watch this for the first time like an hour and a half ago, so maybe it's still fresh for me. I thought this was fucking unbelievable.
It's great. Favorites, I think.
I was sitting there, jaw on the floor, and yes, I'm a Poppy fan. Yes, I have her last 3 albums on vinyl right over there. Okay, but the visuals, holy fuck, dude! I was just like, there wasn't a single word spoken except for Poppy, but like in the thing, there not a single word spoken. Such a powerful story. These two fucking crews, they hate each other. I've had relationships with crews in Marathon just like this, where I'm just like, let's fucking defizzle again, dude. You know, that shit. And they're trading blows, and it's a training montage, and they get better and better and better, and then they go to conquer Cryo. That shit's cinematic, Jake. What are you on?
I think it's fantastic. I just think in the context of everything else, look back at the announcement cinematic as well. Fantastic.
That's
good.
It's all great, but this is fucking cool.
I think this one lands right after the Meowga cinematic for me. I think the Meowga one is still, to me, like the peak of what this is, but this one was sick. I think it leads a lot of potential breadcrumbs on how we might get to the Marathon. Like, I'm curious what you guys think, like how much of that is style and how much of that is like kind of hinting more or less what things are going to look like when we get there. Like,
I felt like we had a pretty good idea, like of, we were playing the slam and we're getting the keys. We're getting keys to Marathon, Cryo Key 2, 3, 6 or whatever. Now I'm thinking that perhaps you don't ever like choose the Marathon map to load into. Perhaps you have to choose like a different map, and you have to take that key somewhere else and start a special extract. And I think that's super cool.
That means you have to be double stacked, though, right? Like you have to have enough stuff to survive, like Outpost and then Cryo type shit.
Well, and matchmaking for the Cryo map would be a fucking nightmare unless there are no other teams on the Cryo, which I doubt. I doubt it.
I don't know. It could come out. After fighting the Wardens, maybe they put like 2 of those enemies, and then the Svid is crazy. I don't know. I don't think it's going to be all PvE. I think clearly it's going to be PvP. They've shown that in the game, but I don't know what the matchmaking.
Have they shown that in the game
or in the Vidoc? They've shown that in the Vidoc.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, they show PvP encounters in Cryo Archive.
Okay, yes, okay, good.
Yeah,
I'm like, I don't know what I can not say.
Probably not much.
Back in the April alpha.
Yeah, well, that wasn't there. I don't know how things. I don't know how loading into the map works. I don't know any of that. Yeah. There seems to be a time mechanic here, and I don't know if that is is this like you have to charge the teleporter type of thing, and then it's ready, and then you can load on the map for like a certain amount of time. Is it the map is only available on certain days? Is it the community has to do something and then that teleporter is fully unlocked forever? Can you load straight into the map? Do you have to go? I find it very unlikely that you have to go through Outpost first or even Marsh first. Like, I feel like that would be so brutal. Like, hey, load in, survive this, and then go try to survive the ship.
Yeah.
That just seems like, from a narrative standpoint, that's cool. From a gameplay standpoint, that sounds fucking awful.
I kind of wonder, it makes me think, okay, so from like, Scary, in Taken King, when you make your way onto the Dreadnought and then you have to set up
the beacon.
A beacon.
Oh,
I wonder if what you just said made me wonder if it's going to be something similar to that, where maybe like for the first day of like the rush onto the Cryo, you have to go through an initial map first, and you have to kind of route your way through it, and then the like whatever like a world's first for Cryo might look like could be a thing that creates a beacon on the ship that makes it possible to transmit onto it straight away.
That'd be fucking cool. So I vibe with this.
You kind of get the best of both worlds in that way, where you have the weird routing. But eventually, like, that idea is super sick. But if we're thinking do I want to reroute onto the marathon every single time I want to do it for like in 4 weeks? Like fucking hell no. Do I want
No.
to do that? Like it needs to be it eventually needs to be in a situation where I can just pick it on the map and be like, I'm doing a cryo run with my key, fuck it. And like if you have to reroute every time, that would be a huge pain in the ass. But I think if they do something like that, it could create it could give you that narrative satisfaction before then also making it eventually easy, which is what actually I think has to happen.
I'm also really curious. We talked about this a little bit last week, and because every time that like I played this map like fucking 2 years ago, right? Like, and it was nothing. It was like gray box, and it was like steps that aren't part of it anymore. Like, I have no idea what this map looks like now. How much is this is it Niobe Labs where you load in and the puzzle is the experience, or is it a Call of Duty Zombies map where it's like it's like every other marathon map where it's PvP and PvE and there's a side puzzle that you can also do? Is it like, is the puzzle the only reason to go to cryo?
Yeah.
Or is it a map that happens to have a big quest line as well? I imagine it's that one, but
it has to be. Otherwise, there's no reason to do it once you've done it before. Or
yeah,
even after you've done it before, you're just redoing the same puzzle over and over again to get loot. And that seems kind of counterintuitive to what they want it. If they want it to remain like a hard thing, I don't think you can ever have the cryo archive on farm the way that you do like a raid encounter in Destiny.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if you're just like, oh, we're just going to run in and do the strat and then it's over, I think like at some point that destroys the economy in a way that will never, that it can never recover from, like 2 weeks into the season. So
plus I think it's more interesting. Like, if you clear cryo, you make it through whatever, you kill the compiler, and then like all the narrative mysteries are gone. I think that is not very interesting, right? Like, I mean, it's interesting, but it's like they can leverage the zone so much better if there are continual mysteries. We already know, they already said this is the first floor of the marathon or whatever. Like, there are many other spaces that they want to eventually explore. But I really hope that it's not just like kill the compiler and like then it's just a cool PvP space. Like, I want there to be other stuff going on here, right? So
I am curious if it's going to be a type of situation where once like there is a puzzle component to it, and then that puzzle component after you've done it, like once kind of dissipates, like is the compiler going to be something that can show up on the map anytime you go there forever, or is it going to be a limited time thing? Like, I kind of hope it's an ever-present threat. Like, every time you're on there, it would be a bummer if not.
I think it is repeatable because if you look at the codex, there's like material that seems like it probably drops from, I don't know if there's something, Jake, you might have a better recollection, there's something called like alien metal or something, right?
Yeah, but I don't know if I don't think we're seeing any of the lore items that are going to drop on the marathon, because in the codex the way that those items are separated are by map.
So by like map, that's a good point.
Yeah. So I don't think we're seeing any of the ones that are going to be, unless the marathon does something where it's like you can get, rare items from every map, but still I don't think that we're necessarily seeing it in the server slam.
I wonder if I was looking at upgrades then.
Oh, maybe like on the tree.
It could have been. Yeah.
I thought I saw something that was like literally like alien metal or alien processor.
I think there was an alien alloy in one of the other tests, but I think it came from like, I think it was a rare drop of a,
what was like the
scavengeable loot.
It was like a synthetic computational thing maybe or something. God damn it, I wish I saw it. It looked like it was very different. Maybe it was called like cyborg or something. Like, there was wording that was very different than shell. That it was
Battleroid Black Box.
No, I don't think it was. Don't think it was that. Because I would have known what that. I think it said cyborg or something. I can
Interesting.
It doesn't. Whatever. It doesn't matter. The way I interpreted it is like there's a material that drops from this thing. You'll probably have to try to kill it multiple times to get all your upgrades.
Yeah.
But that's also just the Bungie way. Is like, I do expect there to be a raid-like ish mechanic to this at some level. So I don't know. Like, I know nothing about this map for the most part. So
I have to imagine it's going to be much more similar to like repeating the Easter egg on a zombies match than it is to farm the compiler than it is to like where you can still get fucked up by other stuff on the map like players and stuff like that, rather than something like a raid where it's going to be like loading in just to do that every time. I think I have to imagine that's what they're going to do. Otherwise, it just doesn't make as much sense to me. And also, like, I think if they had a I think with all the discourse being what it is, I think if they had a PvE only map, they would have said it. Even though that like would have ruined some of the mystery, I think it would have been a good PR move for them to have just been like, yeah, we do have a PvE only map. That is an end game map. So, but you got to do PvP to get there. But then eventually you'll have PvE only stuff. I think they would have said something like that.
Yeah. I agree.
With all the discourse being what it is.
All right. Yeah, Jake, bring us through the rest of the cinematic. This is running way long.
To be honest with you, like I think there's stuff you could look into. I know Ryan had put up here about the underwater with the silkworms. I think that's more of like a representation of the weight of what's occurring, and then you're dying in that process of kind of being lifted back up to the surface is like the process that the mines are going through. I mean, I think that the marathon, him finding the alien effigy, which I think we've seen
it.
A handful of different like Vidoc type stuff.
No, it's in the codex. I saw it. They started
in the codex. Yeah.
Oh,
but I'm saying we've seen it.
Sorry,
I don't think.
Is it like in the codex, like an object, like a valuable that you can find?
Yeah, it's a valuable.
In the game?
Yeah. It was called an effigy, I think, and it was like in dark times, some of the colonists started to worship some strange things or something.
So is that why it's got like a bunch of weird sticks sticking out of the robe and everything?
Yeah,
so
I think
it doesn't look smooth.
I think. I'm very curious of this
handmade.
dynamic. I don't know if we've had this conversation on. I've had this conversation with someone, and I have to imagine it's you guys, but I don't know. But I think there's a very real chance that like the Sphit is a good guy, and like he was kind of
we
like
talked about that.
Yeah, and the fact that people got close enough to it to be able to worship it makes me think like.
So, like in Marathon 1, when you kill the 4 controller, the Sphit all change and start helping the humans. So, assumedly, the colonists who are being attacked by the 4, whatever's going on down there, if the Sphit were deployed on the planet, they probably had a situation where, like, a 4 trooper's about to stab me with a spear, and then the Sphit turns on him and blasts him apart.
Yeah.
So, probably a lot of them, are like, maybe had their lives saved by, when that moment happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, but other than that, I like the thing glowing that Thief pulls out. We don't know what that is.
Yeah, it's very Pulp Fiction in a way.
Generic loot, right? I think
it's Marcellus Wallace's soul.
Exactly. Yeah, it's very Pulp Fiction coded, and like you just get that gold glow on their faces every time they look at it. You never actually see what it is. It could very easily be. I don't know. It would make sense from a Bungie storytelling perspective that something that this Sphit could potentially be guarding, something that could be the thing, the genesis of finding a way to bring the 4 into the game, which also could fit into this Sphit being a good guy, inevitably that Durandal and the Sphit are trying to prevent a return of the 4 or something, and by invading their space and getting it, we inadvertently cause that to happen because it's elite. That seems very likely to me from a storytelling perspective. But who knows? Something I noticed is that, and maybe we already know that this is fine, but in the Meowga cinematic, there's a whole like element to when they're doing like the reprogramming stuff and the shells are talking, and there's a whole element of them clearly not remembering not only like their lives, but also the things that have happened in recent runs. This one plays entirely on the idea that the runners are very intimately familiar with what just happened to them. And I'm curious if that tells us anything new.
So the shells, like the way the technology should work is that you carry over your thoughts. So your mind, your digitized consciousness goes into the shell. And then when it leaves that, whether it's going to a different shell or back to data storage in low orbit of Tau Ceti 4 on a SciAx server, or you're back in Soul and it's going back to your body or whatever, you should be able to retain those memories. What they were doing in the Meowga cinematic, like I think some of it maybe was like the direction that they were going in at the time. Maybe some of it was more of like an artistic choice, but also I think the thing about losing their memory, even in this one, kind of like starts with the tutorial. And I feel like I don't know the direct language because obviously it's different from the tutorial from back in the April alpha, but like something along the lines of like we're recalibrating and getting you set up here. And the codex entry, I forget what it was attached to, but they talk about how the anomalous energy source on Tau Ceti 4 can cause like a bunch of issues with your disconnected consciousness from your body. So I think that also ties into the timer for the game. So the I believe the basis for the timer of the game, as it's presented with the codex stuff we're getting now, is tied to the fact that like if your shell is on, planet side for too long, it's going to cause issues that are going to cause you to disconnect, discombobulate. And I would assume that there would probably be some memory things, occurring there. But assumedly, what we're seeing in this trailer is just shells functioning as you would suspect.
Unless we're actually AI and the timer is to prevent rampancy.
I mean, what's the difference? What's the difference between AI and a mind that's been recreated on a server? Yeah,
that sure does sound like a topic that Bungie would be interested in tackling. If I know anything about the history of their games,
I know how many fingers humans have.
Damn, that's so real.
Affirm.
Checkmate, co-pilot. So I have a couple questions. The compiler has sauce here. So who taught who taught it how to aura farm? Because I just played Marathon 1994 and they were fucking nerds in that game. So
they are kind of nerds, yeah.
So how the whole fucking blobby fish angel of death thing going on there at the end where it's like he's just straight aura farming for no goddamn reason. Who taught it that shit? Because it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's super cool. Do we think this is just like a basic bitch compiler? Are in the first game, in the final level where I fought 50 of these things at once? Am I just God in the first game?
But okay, yes. So I think that is what they're supposed to be presenting in a way. So like the final screen of Marathon Findy says that like you were grafted to machines your builders didn't understand. There's a lot of other stuff, that we could disregard. But the concept that the Mjolnir cyborgs were made with Yarrow technology in some capacity is like a very, I would say it's fair to assume that that's accurate. Obviously, everything's open to interpretation and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But the security officer, the Mjolnir, recon number 54, the Mjolnir Mark 4 cyborgs are actually like that badass. Like they are really that. So I do think that the idea the security officer was handling a bunch of these fit, and now we're in kind of like these, human designed. Maybe there was some of that technology or knowledge passed down, and Sekiguchi has some secret info or whatever. But the idea that these shells aren't as powerful as the security officer, I think, is actually something that we might even see later in the game when we learn about what actually was going on when the cyborgs were fighting against the 4 and what happened to them. So I do think literally that could be a thing. And in terms of where they got their sauce from, I like that it's kind of mirroring this image of the moth that we continue to see and all of that kind of visual language that they've been doing, even in the loading screens about life cycles and the change and how that mirrors rampancy and now the experience of the runners, like we're talking about with kind of like runner rampancy as an idea. But they also could have got their sauce from the 11th Svit clan that actually left prior to them getting enslaved. So when Kalia, the moon Kalia, warps back into orbit and the Svit Kur come back, they have quite a bit more aura and they have some wonderful ships they fly around and kill people in. So maybe
that's Infinity, right?
Yeah, and to the end of 2.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, do we think? I mean, I know there's a bunch of like built-in tools in the Marathon lore for Bungie to retcon things very easily, and kind of mold it. So this fit compiler is also like notably much bigger in size than any of the like human shaped shells. And I know that like the Mjolnir cyborg isn't necessarily like that differently sized than people.
They were able to blend in with the colony and like no one knew that they were there. Yeah.
So do we think like A, what's up with that? And B, like, or do we think that like, is Bungie just taking an opportunity to scale up the Svit to make it more of a horror game where it's like it's a giant creature that is like singularly. It's the different, like doing a reverse Aliens and going back to Alien as
We
like
haven't
one of
seen
these
it
things is
in game
terrifying.
yet. I think that's an important thing to keep in mind.
But we have seen it
Yeah.
next to UESC heads,
In
and it's
in
humongous.
Yeah.
in
That
cinematics though, they take
Sure.
privileges.
Yeah,
with
I mean,
that
like
sometimes.
Bowser. Look, dude, Bowser is as big as he needs to be. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
exactly.
Like, but I think they are clearly going for a larger, more ominous presence for a single compiler than we ever saw in a corridor shooter of that Marathon was. So like, I don't know. I think generally, I saw a bunch of people pointing out that like they thought the Marathon logo was like shown through
Oh, on the chest.
the chest, but I kind of
Yeah.
thought that was always the case. That it seemed like that it was too.
They were just
It
orbs in the first game.
No, I know
yeah.
they're just orbs, but I'm saying I feel like it always, at least to me, kind of felt similar. That it was, so I wasn't totally surprised to see it
In
like
fact, I
mirrored
thought the
through.
compiler's orb was my logo. Bam. Bam. Pick up some merch.
Buy the merch.
Anyways.
Yeah. No, I think with all of the presentation stuff, unless there's something directly said, I think it's just an artistic reimagining. Same with
Yeah.
the marathon, same with this. I think it's just something like they're just trying to present it in a way that feels, visually satisfying in the context of everything else they're doing in the new game. It would be cool to see if there was like a reason behind some of those changes or something included, but even the difference between the fit that we're seeing in this cinematic and the Alberto Miago cinematic and the original announced trailer, I think these are all just different visual interpretations of the concept of this fit. And I do think they
Right.
are making a very like direct choice to make them very imposing. And maybe a part of that comes from the fact that the original game featured this kind of cast of aliens you fought against, and this game has one. So in
Yeah.
terms of what we're seeing right now. So maybe they're just trying to create a very, let's make this the biggest of deals and make them really cool.
Yeah.
And I think it works really well.
There
It's
could be an
super cool.
aspect of like almost like folklore to it too, right? Like, oh, only a couple of runners have seen this thing and they're really juicy, like gassing it up, and you're hearing like their representation of it. I had a theory question-ish type thing. So things get kind of weird when the compiler shows up and there's all sorts of flashiness. You see triage again and you see thief again. You never see destroyer again.
Yeah.
Is it possible that Destroyer got fucking turbo nuked and his consciousness got the big suck by the
You got
compiler?
a permadeath
Interesting.
mechanic. You lose all your account progression if you die to the
I-
compiler.
You can no longer play as Recon.
I'm just
yeah.
I'm just saying, it's like their whole deal was like,
Interesting,
interfacing
yeah.
with the marathon data and stuff. Our technically, like, we know our consciousnesses are rescued from the shells the second before they die or whatever by the servers. I mean, there is a chance they can give us the big suck and steal our consciousness, right? Or
Yeah.
no?
Yeah, I mean, it would be cool if they went in that direction. I
No,
don't know.
not
We do get-
as a gameplay mechanic, as a narrative mechanic.
Yeah, like say, it's possible. I think
I
like
just think-
what's happening to our consciousness and like when it is leaving our body, it's not in our body. And the Codex entry does a really cool thing where they talk about the experience of being a runner. And when you die, like for some people, it's like a minute. For some people, it's like an hour. Like there's a variance in time between like your conscious continuous experience picking back up after you exfil from your runner shell body unintentionally by dying. And so yeah, maybe something else can reach out and grab that stream of data as it gets sent through the waves or something like that. And we kill a UESC assault commander in one of the priority contracts for Traxxas, I believe.
Traxxas, yeah.
And we get notes from Orion, and Orion talks about how they're sending a lot of UESC bots to the marathon, and they're like still they don't like have communication with them. So like they can put resources up there and security bots, but like they lose contact with them and they don't really have a great idea of what's going on, at least when that note was written.
Yeah. My interpretation of that by the end was that the events of the marathon were traumatic and like distrustful enough was Thief leaving them that basically they all went solo. And
Yeah.
like it has changed the way that they interact with Tau Ceti. Like they're no longer part of a team.
It's just interesting to me they never showed
was the
Destroyer
introduction.
again when he was very much.
He
a
was
core
always
part of
in. Oh,
Yeah,
he's in the background the whole time. He
But
doesn't do shit that entire cinematic. He kind of just gets fucked up.
Yeah, I just like I don't know. I think the idea of
Yeah,
like
I see what you're saying.
some pending permadeath is like because this game just doesn't have that. This universe just doesn't have that, right? Like we're very safe. Ish.
Yeah, and that's caused narrative stake problems in Destiny too.
Yeah.
Over time, like
So
pretty major problems with the stake. So I have
there's
to
a whole
imagine they're going to
faction.
introduce something.
There's a whole faction exploring that. Like that's kind of like the idea behind what Arachne is doing and why they have an interest in like areas with an influx of runners because they're exploring the concept of death and what happens and they're curious about like what this experience is.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe that'll be something that they explore very directly.
I hope so. 'Cause it's
I hope so.
interesting. I had a question. There's a big hole blown in the side of the marathon. And also the shells are pretty interested in like trying to get in it. What is stopping our advanced space technology from allowing us to just like fly up and get in the ship, like by like physically just get in there? Like what is stopping that from happening? Is there any kind? Do we have any kind of? I'm sure there's a reason, but like, do we?
It's
got
to be the feds, bro.
Yet?
The
It's
USC
the
fucking USC, man.
They'll nuke you. No way.
Yeah, maybe I would assume like the USC, they talk about how they're treating everything as like this is property of the USC. We're locking this place down. Like there's this complex legal territory where like technically Traxxas and NewCal have like rights to salvage, but they're still operating as like this. Nothing can interfere with their investigation as what's going on. So I would assume it's something like that, but I don't know if we've got like a direct. This is the reason why people can't just roll up on it. Although I personally wouldn't want to just roll up on the marathon if I saw it the way it is.
What's the I guess are there any levels in Marathon 1 later where you're like reactivating like defenses on the external parts of the ship to like is it just dangerous to get too close to it?
One of the first levels is like that, right? The fabricator level. It's like the second or third level.
Yeah, but I don't know if there's anything. I could be wrong, but like I don't know if there's anything where it's like there's a shielding around the marathon or something like that. I don't remember anything that implies like there's technology where it's like literally if you want to, come to port with them, it's impossible unless you have clearance, other than like physical doors being locked and the hull of Deimos itself being like a protective barrier.
One of I think maybe the first terminal talks about like the 8 fucking types of doors on the marathon. And
Durandal's the door warden, right?
Yeah,
like he's the one in charge of the door.
But there's like a ton of different classes of doors. I just think they just have really good doors.
Damn.
I think that's it.
Big door guy. You got to get that door manual.
But
also, I saw Ryan put in here the stuff about the symbols at the end. I don't know. Maybe Scaro, you probably might have more of the Destiny end of this. But I believe those symbols at the end are the game of life. I forget his first name. Conway is his name. It's like a 1970s program that was like a simulation of life.
Did they do the game of life for this too? Oh, they fucking did do the game of life for
which also ties into like the garden, and I believe it's called the flower game in Destiny.
Yeah,
is that right?
It's the
flower and there's flower stuff, symbolism and imagery in Marathon.
I didn't even see this. I stopped once the music stopped. Fucking Bungie back on their Bungieverse bullshit, dude. Jesus Christ.
Back on the Bungieverse, but I think that's what those symbols are, Ryan.
Yeah, this is
okay.
So it's actually really fun. So you can do. There are simulations, like there are websites you can go and run like the game of life, and it'll let you place pixels anywhere, and it always like based off of like the frequency and the rules that you place, it will always go to the same pattern at the end, which is pretty cool. It's like a mathematical anomaly thing.
Okay, I barely understand what you're talking about, but okay, I'll take it.
It's super simple actually. It's like it sounds complex, but it's like it's like a very basic computational rule where if you set just like a set of standard rules, I think there's like 4 or 7 of them or something, then it will default to the same visual pattern every time.
Got it. I'm an English major, so you say the word computational, and I'm like, it doesn't sound simple anymore.
Yeah, it's cool. It's a fun. I would encourage everyone to. It's like
I'll take a look. Yeah, I'll check it out.
A 2-minute video on it. It's pretty cool. And Bungie loves that. Philosophical Bungie is like they've been doing it for 4 decades now or whatever, and
that's always the space they operate in.
Yeah,
like narratively, they're most comfortable in a place of like deep philosophy about consciousness
Yeah.
and life.
And it's weird how there is so much overlap between all their IPs, and there's similar questions that they ask, but they find different ways to explore the answers to those questions. I find that really cool. So
it's why when you think about the fact that Destiny was originally supposed to be a fantasy game, you're like, how would Bungie even operate? And what would they even do with themselves?
Myth. Check out Myth. Yeah. That's really
fair
cool.
enough. Yeah, I've yet to check out Myth, but yeah, the idea of the Bungie that I am familiar with, of the now Marathon and Halo and like Destiny and everything like that, and now like the idea of them not being able to tell a rampancy style story is like, I don't even know what they would do with themselves.
Yeah,
like, that happened. That story's happened like 4 times in Destiny over the years. Like there's been like 4 other like rampant AIs.
Even the Destiny, the fantasy version of Destiny, which is like Forsaken and Riven.
The Hive are very fantasy.
Yeah.
Always have been.
Riven goes through like her own version of rampancy where she gets like really bored, and then she's like, Oryx, take me, and then she fucking does all of that. And so it's like
they always find a way. They always
find a way, yeah.
Is somewhere in the heavens they are waiting? Is that a known tagline for Marathon?
So that was the first thing that pops up.
That was the first
Marathon
one?
1.
In Marathon 1?
Mm-hmm. I believe all of the original Marathon games start with that quote. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's been in a bunch of the Vidocs too. It's like that's like they fucking. In fact, I think
I thought I'd recognized it, but I hadn't.
And now we know that that's the message that Earth received in in the early 2800s. Or
we could have sent them back anything about getting attacked by aliens, and we sent them some cryptic ass shit like that.
Well,
I think Durandal may have.
That's what Durandal sent. Okay,
because
that's what I'm thinking.
At the end of Marathon 1, I think Leela does say, "Oh, I've warned Earth about all this shit," and then it's like, then we find out it's this. I also think I think In the Heavens or something like that was the name of the nuked Vidoc, like the 2023 Vidoc that they got rid of. I think that was the name of it.
Yeah, mm-hmm. That sounds right. Interesting. Yeah. Speaking of Durandal, he was talking to people during the server slam. You could load in and get it happened to me once, where you load in and Ben Starr is just like saying some cryptic ass shit to you the second that you load in to the match, and it's very cool. So he's already talking to people like very early on in the journey. It's gonna be interesting. We'll know so much more the next time we talk.
Hopefully.
But we have a Marathon minute
2 days away
first.
I'm so excited, dude. Fuck.
I can't believe it's happening. I can't believe like we're here.
I know. It's been so long.
Yeah.
I
spent 11 months like playing and then looking forward to this game. So like it's weird that after the delay and everything, the idea that the loot is finally going to quote unquote matter in a way that it never has before, and upgrades are finally going to matter in a way that I know they're not going to get wiped in days but months, is really kind of tripping me up a little bit.
Awesome. I'm gonna finally have more than a week on one account. It's never happened before. I'm so excited. Okay. Marathon minute, boys. I gotta get to bed. It's like midnight.
Whose fault is it?
It is. Hey, look, man. It's worth it.
You can just blame Milo. He's not here.
I convinced him to go. It was my fault.
You didn't have to tell the people that.
Yeah, his flight's like 4 times longer than mine.
That makes it so much more fucked up that you were
you know what's crazy? His flight so much longer than mine, in like pretty much the same price. It was like, both of our flights after fees were like $400. It's like, what the fuck? I know. But we got Din Tai Fung, so it's all right. Anyways,
that's the UK, baby. Anyway, Marathon minute. I mean, like we've been talking about him a little bit recently over the course of this, but like I am curious, with us getting so much more marketing about it, with us doubting we'll see them by the next time we talk, but knowing that like their specter is going to be going over the shadow, like going to be a shadow that hangs over the course of the game as we're looking for these alien effigies and various things. I want to know everything about not a person, but a type of people. I want to know everything about the compilers that we know about. Tell me about the Spit.
That's a lot for a minute, Jake. Good luck.
We'll try to figure it out.
Yep. All right. Just let me know.
All right. The Spit are a race of aliens that were brought to the planet Lahuan. That's their like home world. And they were uplifted. So they are originally organic. They were implanted with cybernetic technology. So they were uplifted to a higher state of consciousness by the Yarrow, other ancient aliens. Then at around the 1800s, they were enslaved by the Four, and so they were taken in by the Four, and they were used for their technological, promise of being able to interact with computers. And they were enslaved. They had this Four controller which allowed the Four to basically mind control them. Eventually the Four find Tau Ceti 4 thanks to Durandal, meets the Four and the Spit, and they are also kind of computer like. So he talks to them and says, hey, these guys are enslaving you. That's fucked up. I'll help you out. And so he helps the Spit get freed from the Four by having the security officer kill the Four controller. And then they steal a Four ship, and they head to Lohawan, where all the hijinks of Marathon 2 and Infinity take place. Seemingly some were left behind. They probably don't have anything against humans, but they're here now, and this seems like they're killing us.
One thing I don't understand about, and I think this is just like a 90s computer game thing. So the Yarrow just completely linked to the Spit, completely linked to the Four. What the fuck? The Yarrow are, yeah. What the fuck were the Yarrow doing on Tau Ceti? Like, Tau Ceti's just a normal ass like planet with some like fucking plants on it. Like, why? It's one of these things where it's like, it's just too much. It's just one.
This is just like every single one of your takes about the universe is, oh, what's so special about it? It's just, it hosts life to trillions of organisms and exists in a habitable space from a star that's like hyper unique, and it's only 11.9 light years from us. I just don't get it. It's amazing. It's the gift of life. It's carbon-based life in a universe that is dark. What more does it have to be?
I'm just saying, it's just one. The Yarrow, okay, I get it. They interacted with fucking,
it's not a real moon. It's a bullshit planet.
Well, they didn't. You're Yarrow. I would just like to point out, Yarrow didn't touch Deimos, but they were on Earth because Deimos is a fucking fake ass moon, bro.
Okay, they came to Earth because they wanted to meet Bill Clinton.
You know where they didn't. You know where they didn't go? Fucking Deimos. And even do we have any indication the Yarrow were ever aboard the Marathon at any point?
No. We literally.
Do you know why? Because it's built inside of a fake ass moon. If they would have built that shit inside of Phobos, they would have had tea parties in the Marathon. They're not going near Deimos. Fuck that moon. But no,
I may have muted myself while coughing while I asked if they were the progenitor race anyway. So who knows? We could have just gone on that.
I don't know. I do like subscribe to the idea that possibly the original intent with the Yarrow was that they were supposed to be the same, like with Forerunner and Halo, where it's like Forerunner are human, this whole thing. And I think if you go back and you look at like the Yarrow station, a lot of the technology and the size of the doors and it does look very like human technology in a way that is very distinct from all the other alien technology that you see in Marathon. So I do think there's a possibility that they're maybe originally that was like the intention. I don't know if that's something that they would stick with,
I hope they don't do that
all these years later.
I'm not a fan. I don't know. It's just like, when would that have happened? Oh, we had human technology and then we came to Earth and then we fucking did cowboy shit and caveman shit and then we developed the same technology that looks exactly the same again. Like, give me a fucking break.
I'd be more okay with it if they didn't already do it in Halo.
Yeah, exactly.
At least Forerunner technology looked different. It was cool and orange and glowy and shit, bro. You know?
It's a different.
And they built the rings too, right? That's the Forerunners.
Cool and was it orange and are you talking about like Halo 4? Was it orange?
A lot of the Forerunner, the Forerunner stuff was all orange in Halo 4.
Yeah, because I played it after. I played it after Vow, and I remember distinctly thinking, "Oh, this just looks like fucking Rolk." It's the darkness.
But see, that wasn't even Bungie. That wasn't even Bungie.
No, I know, but it's just like where my mind.
The OG Forerunner stuff is all like silver and blue. Is mostly
what.
The only thing that was orange
like
was
the library, like the library and shit.
Yeah, the library. The only thing that was blue was like the Sentinel beam, or the only thing that orange is the Sentinel beams in terms of stuff that was related to the Forerunners.
Yeah.
Oh, that's just a dumb rain in space. What's so special about that? That's not very cool.
Yeah, it is fucking dumb. I would have nuked that shit too. Based, like
it is a nuke. It's like the biggest nuke.
It's the biggest nuke. Didn't they try? Isn't like one of the first 2 or 3 Halos? Don't they nuke one of the rings? They destroy one of the rings.
I just want. We need to do like a minute where Scarrow just explains the narrative of other franchises that he's never played or engaged with.
Yeah, this week we did Resident Evil. And next week we'll do
Resident Evil. It's just fucking gooner bait, dude. Like, one of these days you're gonna luck out and you're gonna hit a franchise that I love dearly, and it's gonna be awesome. But every other time it's just gonna be me ripping on something I know nothing about. Oh god!
No, I think you're thinking.
Setting you straight.
I think you're thinking of them blowing up the Pillar of Autumn, which was on the Halo, and it's a nuclear.
That's a final.
So technically,
okay, yeah.
Technically, they do nuke the first Halo that you encounter because
I think I remember like one of the like Gravemind or one of the long skinny neck nerds. I don't think you already destroyed one ring. Yeah, those guys. You destroyed one ring.
The first ring.
Okay, there you go. Yeah,
because when you blow up the Pillar of Autumn, it's a nuclear explosion. That's why you're trying to escape in the long. I don't remember what the name of the ship is. The Longsword, I think. You escape from in.
Every time I think of
Halo, and
this is really gonna
40% of it.
Yeah, it's gonna really piss people off. But every time I think of Halo, I just think, man, Dead Space did it so much better, and that's like all I can think of.
Have you played Dead Space 3?
Yes, I have played Dead Space 3.
Okay, well they did not do it. Come on.
Yes, correct.
Dead Space 2 or 3.
Dead Space 1, genuinely one of the best games ever made, though. I'm with you.
Dead Space 2.
Dead Space 2 is a perfect video game.
I fully agree with you. Right. I like Dead Space 2 better than Dead Space 1, but the Dead Space 1 remake was the closest Dead Space you've ever gotten to Dead Space 2. And the fact that we will never get a Dead Space 2 remake from that same team is a fucking crime. And
I want a Dead Space 3 remake where they atone for their sins.
Where they fix it? Yeah, that would be great.
Was that Bluepoint? Was that Bluepoint that did the Dead Space remake?
No.
No, that was an internal team EA built a team to remake Dead Space.
Okay.
And man, that remake is fucking so good, dude.
Didn't they just sell the rights to that or something? Like, I feel like
I think people are. I saw people talking about how they want EA to sell the rights to Dead Space.
Oh, maybe that's what it was.
Go to somebody who will actually like take care of it and make it, because they made such a great team for that, and then they just were like, nope, we're gonna make Battlefield content now.
I know where. Oh yeah, DICE helped with that. That's right.
Yeah, right. And then they were like, we're gonna make and they're like, well, we could take this team that made this really great remake, and we could make them remake Dead Space 2, genuinely one of the best games of all time. Probably like one of my 10, probably top 10 favorite games ever.
Agreed.
And then they were like, no, we're not going to do that, though. They're not going to do that, which is crazy and upsetting, and fucking sucks. We deserve more Dead Space, especially in this era where. How have you not? Okay, Scarrow, Dead Space is very much aping Resident Evil.
But
as somebody who played Dead Space first,
but you get to dismember things. Do you get to dismember things in Resident Evil?
I mean,
things explode.
Things explode,
but it's the gameplay mechanic.
It's not a systematic mechanic where you are like cut off their arms. It's not that. It's not that.
I'm not against Resident. I'm a big zombies guy. Every time I see footage of Resident Evil, I'm like, oh, that looks interesting. I really want to play Ill, which is like very similar-ish looking to the Resident Evil stuff that I've seen.
7, 8, and 9 you will like because they are first person. Play them in first person, and you will. I think that will ease you into it, and then you can go back and check out 2, which has the police station, which is one of the best sections in any kind of survival horror game of all time.
Okay,
it's
one more related question for the for someone.
Does it mean this is not about Dead Space?
It's not related. It's not about Dead Space. It's not about Marathon. Sorry, people that are listening. Are we gonna? is this BioShock thing ever happening? BioShock is top 3
There's
franchises of all time.
There was new information about it today.
Today?
I think it was like a leak of saying that the next one is like basically saying that they're trying to do. So I saw it on Twitter. I don't know how accurate it is, but it was someone saying like the next game of the BioShock franchise is going to be about, visiting an area of it was basically like of a dystopian, like visiting the ruins.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, so it's a BioShock game.
Yeah,
like,
I know it's supposed to be like supposedly in Antarctica or some shit, but
I don't know. Like, I don't think we know anything about it. I think the most.
Oh, that's Half-Life 3.
I just wanted so bad. I love BioShock, Dead Space, Destiny, and Marathon is very quickly approaching.
Those are all
Just
those
like
are all great franchises.
just the narrative is just like fucking unbelievable. So it's just like sucks me in.
I don't know. What's the game coming out from Irrational? Or the new version of Irrational.
Oh, Judas.
Judas, thank you. Yeah, that looks like very BioShock. So I think that'll be the next thing that comes along that'll scratch that itch.
Yeah, Ken Levine, right?
Yeah,
Ken Levine.
I'm still pretty unhappy that, based on everything we know that like Irrational died because Ken Levine was basically like, I want a smaller team, and then a bunch of people lost their jobs. Like I think that fucking sucks pretty bad. But I'm pretty excited to see what the next thing he has to do is. It's been a long time.
Yeah. I don't. Anyways, this has been not related to Marathon Minute. Sorry, the Dead Space remake always gets me in my feels for universes that should have continued but didn't, and hopefully Marathon never falls into that category.
Nope. I played the Dead Space remake when it came out when my daughter was like 3 weeks old, and I was hanging out with her overnight, and I played that entire game trying not to jump scare too hard because I had like her sleeping on my arms while I was playing in the middle of the night. Like,
did you do Impossible or whatever? Did you do that one-shot mode?
I did. I did not, but I did when I was playing the Silent Hill 2 remake. The backyard of my house got vandalized by the teenager next door throwing like glass and stuff over into my yard at 4 a.m. Which, let me tell you what, if you're playing the Silent Hill remake at 4 a.m. and you hear glass break in your backyard, that is fucking scary.
All right, for one final question. I'm so sorry. Everyone's tuned out at this point. What? Okay, there's an objective answer to this, Ryan. What is the best part of the Dead Space 1 remake?
Oh, fuck.
It is a singular thing.
It's a singular thing.
It's a singular thing.
I was very sleep deprived the last time I played it.
So you might not even know.
I might not get it to what you're saying, but I mean, from a personal perspective, I like.
No, I said objective answer.
Objective answer. I mean, to me, it was the fact that the maps flowed in a much more like less chapter based way.
It was the sea shanty. It was the sea shanty they threw in there. They used to.
Oh yeah. That
objectively the best part.
Okay. I was going to be like, I like the fact that not everything was taking a tram between the different levels and that you took different unique ways like flying through the garage. I thought that was really interesting. From a design
Let's wrap this up. I like how I'm the fucking person that was like, hey, we should keep this short. And I definitely 45 minutes of this 2-hour episode were due to me rambling. So cool.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, but that's par for the course, because you are also the one to be like, I'm so tired, boys. I'm so tired. I got so much stuff to do, and then you're also the person where I get a message being like, oh, I'm on the way to LA right now. So can we do it a different recording time? And I'm like, you know what? That tracks 100%. At this point, I feel like I'm just used to it. It's like you are simultaneously the most tired person I know, and also the person most likely to jump on a flight with 45 minutes notice. So I think that seems
those accurate. Two things are definitely correlated, and it's my best and worst character traits simultaneously, I think. Alrighty, it's been a good episode. Everyone watching, tune into my video 2 hours ago or 2 hours from now, depending on when everything goes out. I don't fucking know. Cool. Do your plugs, boys.
Roadus site. We did some we revamped some subscriber benefits. We have a sale going on. Check us out. And check out these boys while they're streaming Marathon for the next wild time. Like between the times that we next chat, I know I'll be watching them if there are new Twitch drops, and also just in general. So yeah, I'm sure they'll be going all the time. So you should watch them. They're fun.
Onlyfans.com/JakeThellWright.
Hell yeah, brother.
It's just
actually, is that against TOS? That might be against TOS.
No, you're fine. You're fine. It's just constant. It's just mukbangs of drinkable cheeseburgers, bro.
Well, and jumbly goops now.
Yeah, and no. That was no. All right, I'm going to bed. Catch ya. Thanks for watching Escapable Bigby Pod, and enjoy the game in a day and a half or a day when you're seeing this, or maybe the day. I don't know when I'm getting this uploaded. Anyway, have a good night. Bye.